Ooh-wee. It is chilly. Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And I'm cold. Let's start there. It's cold here. Not cold. I know it's not cold. It's chilly. Anyway, thank you all for coming. This is a witchy review. I'm actually doing something, a book haul, but the twist is that I went to the library and got these books. I decided to try that. I was talking about that on one of my last lives. Um, how I was going to go to the library and check it out. So I did. I went to several libraries. I didn't just go to one. I went to several branches because I was really curious to know what they had. And I went online first to see what was in their catalog, what was available. So I only looked for new books. I wasn't interested in getting any older books because when I review books, I typically am reviewing books that recently came out. I realized last time I talked about a book series and I wanted to come back to that and I can't remember um, the dang name of the book. Oh man. All right. I can't remember the series. I was looking for it before and I was still trying to look. I don't remember. You'll is it this? I think I found it. I think I found it. By Sarah Borges. Let me see if this is the one. She got different books. No, that's not it. Dang it. I'm gonna keep searching. It was a series that I read it was years ago and it was so good. And I cannot remember the name of the freaking series. And now I'm searching, gun on my head, I can't remember. I'm bad with book titles, that's the problem. And authors, I don't know. But moving on. Let me tell you all the books that I got. So this first one, it's totally out of what I normally read. This is not something I'm normal, I just don't because I don't even see it as an option. So this is called This Spells Disaster. So it's definitely, romantic, witchy novel, light read, except it's two women. This was in the new section. Everything, when you first go in a public library and they have the books for like new fiction, new nonfiction, that's where I got everything from at each of the branches I went to. But this is the book. So let's talk about what this book is about. Potion maker, and hey, Princess Diaries, I don't think I said hey. Potion maker and self proclaimed messy witch. Morgan Greenwood is sure she was hexed at birth. Not only did she drunkenly offer to fake date the woman of her dreams during the biennial New England Witches Trust Festival, but Rory Sandler, spellcasting champion and brilliant elemental witch, for reasons known only to the goddesses, accepted. It's like every good luck spell Morgan ever cast came through at once, and it doesn't take a crystal ball to predict this charade will end with a broken heart. Or is the magic between them real? As Morgan and Rory prepare to fool everyone at the festival, their relationship starts to feel a whole lot less fake, right until Morgan realizes she might have screwed up the common relaxation potion she made for Rory and given her a love potion instead, breaking one of the most sacred Witch Council laws. To fulfill her promise to Rory, Morgan must somehow keep playing pretend while under the watchful eyes of Rory's family and legions of fans. But to break the love potion, she'll also have to prove how incompatible she and Rory really are. For a screw up like her, ruining their relationship should be easy, except every day. Morgan is becoming more bewitched by Rory herself. Y'all, this is so cute. This is recently published by Tori Ann Martin. Um, I'm really interested in this. I was like, you know what? I am definitely open to queer fiction. I'm open to it all, honestly. So I look forward to reading this. I'll be giving my review on this. So speaking of branching out, the Mexican Witch. Now, I've seen this before on Amazon, but I was curious. Brujeria Spells Tarot and Crystal Magic by Valeria Ruelas. Um, First of all, the cover art is everything. Cover art is everything. So embrace your inner witch with this essential guide to brujeria. A modern Mexican bruja is a powerful person, one who reads the tarot and practices spell work. Brujeria, Spanish for witchcraft, is a unique form of spirituality that blends core elements of Afro-Indigenous beliefs. You, oh, you'd read it. The this spells disaster, right? um, Today, she is one of the foremost practitioners of brujeria in North America. As part of her daily practice, she seeks to bring intense wisdom, harmony, and spirituality of brujeria to her followers, and she returns power and ancestral magic to those whose agency has been lost. So I'm looking forward to this. So let's just get into a little bit because one thing is true. First of all, okay, I had to ask my young child, is the script, is the print small, or is it, you can tell me if I'm old. You go on, just tell me. I wear glasses, but I can't see distances. That's why I wear glasses. Like, it helps when I'm driving. Um, Honestly, if I sit too far back from here, it gets a little blurry. But like, I'm right up on the screen. But a book in my face, I've always had, I've never had any issues. But now, is it just me, or is the print like small? This is in bold, the table of contents, but like, this is the book. That's small. Or is that me? I'm sorry, I got stuff. Let me turn this down. Anyway, or is it me? I don't know. Could be me. I'm willing to admit. I mean, it's part of aging, but boy, is that script small. Anyway, the font, I should say. So let's talk about what you get out of this book. So there's the introduction, and then it starts in part one is the essentials of brujeria. It seems like the print is smaller and newer copies nowadays. It does. I'm like, I need them. And I like physical copies. Although I'm reading, I realize I'm reading faster on my Kindle because I can make it bigger. I can change the backlight and all that stuff. But anyway, botanicals, yerberias, and mercados. I'm a butcher it up. Just know this. Preparing your altar, build your altar, preparing your altar in space, how to do a spell, how to use magic words, pre-ritual herbal nasal steams. Let's go look at that. Nasal steams. You heard what I said. What's that? The nose is such an important instrument of magic. When smells enter the nose, they create wonderful changes and reactions in the brain. So, are we mean aromatherapy? Hold on. Doing these simple plus, all right, so let me skip to it. So, you will need one round, large bowl, one towel, and yerbas. I don't know what that is. Is that a herb? Yerbas. Boil some water and then place the water and all of the yerbas in the bowl. Say the magic words over the herbs. Well, there you go. Um, is yerbas just herbs in Spanish? This is why I'm going to read the book. This is why I'm going to read the book. Then place a towel over your head and breathe in a beautiful combination of herbs. Okay, so like when what my mom used to have me do when I was sick, we get she get a small saucepan pot, boil some water. She might put a little something in there if she had it. Otherwise, you just gonna get the steam of the water. And you put the towel over your head, and she would have like pot holders, and she would basically tell me, "Be careful." Yes, a boiling hot pot was sitting in front of me as a little kid. You just learn not to get burnt. But yeah, I can. Okay, cool. So this blend helps you quiet the mind and relaxes you. This is an interesting approach. I kind of like this. So she said facial steam. Exactly. So this is for mind to quiet your mind and relax you. She said yerba santa. So okay, spearmint, peppermint, rosemary, oregano, valerian root. The incantation is enter my system, yerba sabias, open my third eye, yerbas mastras. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak. I was taught Spanish in school, public school. I had a Spanish teacher. I had to pay twice, middle school and high school. My final in high school in the 12th grade, we had to only speak in Spanish. We had a field trip. She took us to a restaurant and she instructed the staff that we had to order our food in Spanish and we could only speak in Spanish. That's another place where the anxiety started. That's the other place because I struggled. I struggled. I did not know how to speak Spanish appropriately. I couldn't remember what was chicken and what was pork. And the anxiety that whole day. I wanted to go out to eat. I was looking forward to the field trip, but I really didn't know how to speak. And I was in the class and I was a good student. I paid attention, but it didn't click. Oh my goodness. I remember that now. Anyway, I took French. I don't remember any of it now. Like I don't know. I don't know. Is Rojas? I don't even, you know what? Let me stop. I don't know. But we're going to learn. We're going to read this book and we're going to learn. So that's just the other things. Let me get back to the table of contents so you can understand what is in this book. What are you getting? So we have, oh, more Spanish words. Oh, I got to do better. I can Google it and learn the translation. Um, Obsidian dagger preparation. Well, that's not in Spanish. Okay. Limpias. 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 Consent in limpias. How to perform a limpia, long term limpias, additional limpias, after limpia protection candles. I'm going to read this book and I'm going to find out what these things are. How to charge an object to give it a purpose. I could deal with that. Okay, working with nature, ocean water spell, rainwater money drawing spell, river water protection ritual, like that. How to recite magic words, obsidian mirror training, fixing your energy with crystals and candle spells, and then the practice. So I, is that all part one? Yeah, so that's part one, and then it goes into the practice of brujeria. So she's going to talk about the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck, the cards, how to work with yerbas. So we're back to that. Candle magic, candle and crystal spells for common problems, lifestyle spells. Oh, so we got some spells in here. So let's take a quick look at some of the spells, and then there's a section on Santa Muerte. So we have send love to your enemy spell, breakup spell, fighting injustice spells. That's a good one. Basic ancestral magic, spray and oil recipes for various things. So I want to look at the fighting injustice spells. There's free someone from prison spell or abolition, help someone gain victory in an election. Well. Let's take a little gander. I'm very curious. So both spells are on page 91. All right. Fighting injustice spells. It says these spells can help you do your part to help fight the white supremacist colonial patriarchy. Well, we speak in the same language. Free someone from prison abduction. So you need one black key-shaped candle in any color, one large dark purple candle, lemongrass, wax stick, wax seal, protection oil, luck oil, one kunzite crystal, and the chariot card. I'm with this so far. Prepare the candles with the herbs by poking a hole that is about 1/3 of an inch deep into the bottom of the candle. Fill the hole with the yerbas, about a pinch of each. Seal the hole with the wax stick by melting it on the hole. And then use the seal to make it close. Drip 3 to 4 drops of oil on the candle. Gather all of the objects, including the crystal and tarot card, and light the candles during a full moon during a full moon in the night after 1 a.m. Oh, shoot. Well, I could take some. I could take some to stay up. So that's that one. To help someone gain victory in election, you need health oil, election help oil, luck oil. There's recipes for these in the book. Full moon oil, a Mars spray, moon spray, Venus spray, 3 pieces of lapis lazuli, 10 to 13 short light blue candles, one large red candle, calendula, shredded pieces of money, gold glitter, silver glitter, dirt from in front of the state capitol or city hall. Cut the calendula flowers into small, even pieces. Add oil to the candles. She says you can use aluminum foil to prep all the candles so you don't make a mess. And aluminum is valuable in that it adds to the magic power. Yes, I'm liking the way she thinks. Roll the candles in the herbs, dirt, oils, glitter, and money. Spray the surface of your altar with all of the sprays. Spray the room and do your spray activation. Burn all candles at once. Place the lapis lazuli, on the altar space for an added effect. Cast the spell on a Saturday at any time. I kind of like the spell. I like this. Surgery, medical procedure, support spell. So there's some stuff in here now. This is, I'm liking this one. Okay, so, and then there's a section on connecting to Santa Muerte, like I said. Are these the oil recipes? Yeah. So like the Lux spray and oil is 3 ounces of yucca root, 50 drops of French vanilla essential oil. Girl, that's expensive. Wait, hold on. All right. We get to it. Well, you got to put the energy of the money behind it if you want it to work. Let's see, what else? What was one of those other oils? Oh, a sex worker sexual healing oil. Listen, you need 40 drops of geranium essential oil. I love working with that oil. I have to order some more geranium essential oil. I love working with that. 40 drops of freesia essential oil and 80 drops of bergamot essential oil. So there you go. So I love making a good oil. If you want a money oil, she says 3 ounces blessed thistle, 20 to 25 drops of Nang Champa fragrance oil. So this is the Mexican witch lifestyle. I am really looking forward to digging a little bit more into this one. So far from just like skimming it, I skimmed these books because I went to the library a couple days ago, but I skimmed these books to kind of get an idea, except for one. I never got a chance to, so we're going to look at that one together. But let's talk about the one I really did skim. The Contemporary Witch. I don't know if anybody, this is also a newer book. Everything is newer. It hasn't been out that long. 12 types and 35 plus spells of witches, by the way. 12 types of witches and rituals for advancing witches to find their path. This is by Ambrosia Hawthorne and Sarah Justice. So, this is a very interesting little book, also small print, just to, mess with my eyes a little bit. I love the illustrations in the book as well. This one, they even have a description on the cottage witch in here, so they already had me. It don't take much. But I'm gonna skip ahead. So how the book is set up is like, if they're defining the types of witches, and then they give you spells. So this is chapter 5, which is Hearth and Home Witches. Hearth and home witches are drawn to creating sacred spaces and crafting magic with tools and ingredients often found in and around the home. Facts. These types of witches have often practiced traditional and folk magic, as well as kitchen witchery and cottage witchery. Okay, which we'll dive into in a bit. So let's get into that. So they start off with the description, and this is going to be each section. This is just my favorite, so I'm going to start with this one. A brief history of magic in the home, unique aspects of hearth witches, and then there's a section on tools for the hearth witch. You're not going to be able to make it out because the writing is super small, and there's like a light color in the background. This is really, to me, hard on your eyes. And I have a bright room right now, and this is hard, but some of the tools: ash, blankets, firewood, flowers and herbs, gardening tools, mantles and shelves. Yeah. Mason jars, pottery, spoons, wooden well bucket. I don't know about that. Yarn, string, and other textiles. I'll give you that. Okay. So they start off with kitchen witch. First of all, the illustrations are adorable. Right? They're adorable. I like it. They getting started as a beginner as a kitchen witch. And then they talk about enchanted teas, soups, and meldings, and you just get into spell work. So there's a recipe for an abundance tea. And then intermediate kitchen witchcraft. So it gives you a little bit more. It's not just about the beginner stuff. And then cleansing herbal oil, a beet love spell. And then they give you a section about food correspondence. It's still in the same section. Next, we're going to talk about cottage witch. So that's me. And also, I love this illustration. I might copy this. I'm going to have to copy this because I just like this so much. So there's again, you have the getting started beginner section. And then you get into a cranberry. Okay, here's the first spell. Cranberry garland for protection and vitality. Okay, so that's the first spell. And then intermediate cottage witchcraft. So let's see what they say. Intermediate cottage witches may focus more on the changes of the seasons, I do, and thus the changing of the land in which they cultivate their garden. They understand, much like green witches do, that the ground is just as important as the flowers, and it too should be honored. They are likely to lay the ground to rest, giving the earth a nice blessing before it goes dormant for winter. I am in a different kind of land, but I get the idea. Intermediate cottage witches may also focus on hearth witch activities a bit more involved than crafting a quick garland. Just like the kitchen witch begins to focus on the nuances of stirring, heating, and cooling, the cottage witch may focus on more mindful activities such as stitching and sewing. Fair. Okay, stitches and sigils. So there's a stitching stability spell. So it says in this spell, stitches are added as a symbol of stability and foundation to our lives. Use any symbol you like, such as a tree limb or an oak leaf, or even just words that remind you of stability, like grounding, strength, and so on. Choose something meaningful to you or the person you're performing the spell for. So this is good. So then, by the way, the tool, what you need for this spell is scissors, thread in one of the following colors: black, brown, gray, green, or rusty orange. You need a needle and some textile to be stitched. I'm all for this. So when to perform this spell? Thursday, anytime, 5 p.m. or midnight are ideal. Y'all keep trying to have me stay up late. Anyway, there's a section on plant correspondences. And then the next chapter is Intuitive Witches. So this is a really thought out book. I'm kind of digging it actually a lot. So how they organize it. I wish the print wasn't so small, but outside of that, I'm liking the book. So under Intuitive Witches is a psychic witch. Look at isn't that pretty? The illustrations. I like it. So psychic witch, a smoke spell for protection. So that's like the spell for that one. Meditation spell, finding energy in your body, peppermint leaf candle dressing. So these are good. So developing clairvoyance, meeting the higher self of meditation. And then there's cosmic witch. So this, let me tell you, I went through this book last night and I spent time, I was reading more sections than others. So this is actually a really interesting book. Eclectic and niche witches, in case you don't really fit all the other stuff. So there's a section on that. A crystal witch. I believe I see a lot of crystal witches, especially like on Instagram, social media. I see that like there's a lot of representation for them. Crystal spell for letting go, spells for charging stones, crystal grids. Obviously, you don't have to be the witch they're talking about, but you could use all of this. Witch's pyramid spell to build power. I like that. A wellness witch. I mean, I'm a healer, but wellness witch. Okay. Oh, I love this. Resilient spell for hardships. That's good. Cord magic for negativity removal. Meditation for healing and rest. Shadow work spell to combine the self. Wholeness spell. All right, so that's just some. I kind of flipped through quickly with this one, but there's water witch. So elemental witches, I'm gonna assume. Yeah, earth elemental. The garden witch is wreath. Green witch. Oh, I'm And this is under nature witches, by the way, for that sort of stuff. So like your elemental witches, folk witch. This is not a. This is an interesting book. This is interesting. So yeah, if you're kind of, especially if you're somebody who you're maybe you are looking for a little bit more divination, or not divination, a little bit more decisiveness about your path. A lot of us, for a long time, I would have never said I was a cottage witch. I would have just said I was, oh, I'm more of an eclectic witch, because I was non-committal about really kind of putting myself in any path, because I kind of was experiencing a little bit of everything. I definitely wasn't going to tell nobody I was a hoodoo witch, or I mean, they say hoodoo witch, or am I not saying? You know what I'm saying. I wouldn't have said that because I didn't feel that that really fit me, because um, I don't know. I felt like I there was more. I was into some other paths, so I couldn't definitively even call myself that. So, um, what I did realize, I was doing cottage witchery, or a hearth. I'll interchange it: hearth witch, cottage witch. I would not call myself a green witch. I wouldn't say that. Although I do things similar sometimes, like a green witch, but that falls under being a hearth witch. So there you go. Let's get to the next book. So, from my understanding, Ella Harrison has a YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure I've been on her channel before. The Book of Spells: 150 Magical Ways to Achieve Your Heart's Desire. This is a book I did not look at yet. I kept it was they were stacked up, and I just didn't look at this one. So we're gonna look at this one together. So this is that's a comprehensive guide for newbies, but also seasoned witches who want to try something different, right? And just maybe this whole time you've been a cosmic witch, but you didn't even know to call yourself that. Not that you have to call yourself or label yourself, but maybe you're at the point in your practice. It'd be nice to kind of have just a little bit uniformity around your practice. It doesn't mean you don't learn other things. It doesn't mean you don't branch out, but usually once you kind of have a little bit more, a title essentially for the type of witch that you are, when you learn things, you tend to take those things and you make it your version. So if for me as a cottage witch, I'll see folk magic and things like that, and I'll add it in. Prime example, on TikTok, one of the things people were talking about a lot of, and I'm starting to see, things are a trend and then they go away a little bit, but the blowing the cinnamon, and at the first of the month you blow cinnamon at your doorway. So for somebody like me, I'll see that and I'll say, oh, okay, I like the idea of that. But I won't do it that way. But I'm taking the idea of what cinnamon represents for prosperity. I'm getting the idea about the threshold. But for me, I would, as a cottage witch, I could take some cinnamon sticks, especially at this time of year. I'm going to take like a bundle of cinnamon sticks and maybe hang them over my door. And maybe I recharge them at the beginning of the month. So I'm taking that, but I'm making it my own as the cottage witch, because I enjoy making something, like making like a little bundle, or maybe I just, I have already a herbal blend and I'm going to do a smoke cleanse, and I might add just a pinch of cinnamon to that smoke cleanse or something like that. And yeah, you open your windows, but I open my front door. So you see what I mean? So I make it my own. But about this book, so chapter 1 is spellcraft. What is a spell? So they're going to break that down. Chapter 2, the spells, and then they get into it. So there's something for protection, prosperity, personal growth, health and well-being, love and sex, friendship and family, joy and serenity, work and ambition. So there's some nice artwork. Now, mind you, I'm just opening this book up, but let me go back to the front and let's talk about this. Discover the art of spell casting to add some magic to your daily life. Whatever your hopes and dreams, learn how to successfully set your intentions, raise and direct energy, and manifest your desires with 150 simple rituals. You have some cinnamon body spray a cinnamon body spray that I bless and spray out the door. Exactly. You make it your own, whatever version you do it. Like, I don't really feel comfortable in this. Listen, it's a thing where it's like, well, you kind of, as a witch, you need to put your signature on it, your ways of doing things, so it won't look like maybe the original way, but the intention is technically still the same. You're trying to bring in prosperity. Anyway, so she says, From protection and banishment spells to empowering incantations and folk charms for good fortune, each page offers steps to enhance a different aspect of your life, allowing you to take the practice into your own hands and connect to the magic within. All right. This beautiful guide is overflowing with wisdom to help hone your craft no matter where you are on your witchcraft journey. So, this is meaning you don't have to be a beginner. Ethical witchcraft. Well, that's nice. Let me see something here. Yeah, I wanted to see about the author to make sure this is the person I thought. Yeah, it is. Ella Harrison has been a practicing witch for over 10 years, and she aspires to inspire and educate people about witchcraft and pagan practices. Ella is best known for her YouTube channel where she creates beginner-friendly videos on Wicca and witchcraft. She was I didn't realize that. She was born in New Zealand and raised in a German family who practices various aspects of witchcraft. She holds a degree in social and cultural anthropology and creates content on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Ella and her husband, Carlos, co-own a small crystal business called Silver Fern Crystals. The more you know. I didn't know that. Okay, good. Good for her. So let's look at something here. So we got ethical, and then we get into the spells. So shielding for empaths ritual. So there's a little bit to it here. This technique is excellent for situations where you'd like to shield yourself from energies and emotions around you, whether it be in public or at a family gathering. Well, isn't this just in time for a lot of people who are going to be around family? Let's get into this. So here it is. I'll just skim it. You can use this on the go without anyone noticing. Center and ground yourself and start to imagine an energetic light forming in your chest. This light grows until it surrounds you completely. Imagine that light hardening, becoming an impenetrable diamond shield. You can still look through it and see what is going on around you, but anyone looking at you will see rainbow colors bouncing off of your shield. Visualize your diamond shield having chameleon-like qualities, allowing you to blend in with your surroundings without anybody noticing you. Anyone who tries to protect or project their energies onto you, consciously or unconsciously, will not be able to do so, as your shield deflects their energies back to them. You may also speak the words, shield me from view, protect me from you. May no energies pass through, so mote it be. I like this. This shield will need to be fed energy to stay active. I'm glad she mentioned that. Simply by you visualizing it being strong and impenetrable. However, it is not advisable to keep this shield on all of the time, as you may become disconnected from your surroundings and other people. It can also be draining to maintain, especially at first. It is similar to working a muscle, so it'll become easier with practice. This is kind of like the idea of cloaking as well. I'm at a point in my life where, I don't really need the disclaimer. I'm not going to try to stay cloaked all the time. That it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit life. Like, you can't be like that, because you will be, kind of cutting yourself off from people, situations, experiences, and just living life. However, that is something I used that when I started really getting into like spell work and things like that. I practice a lot with cloaking in public because I moved around a lot. So I lived in different places. And sometimes, I already felt like an outsider because I don't know anybody where I'm going. But there were times where I used to practice to make sure like no one would talk to me. Because I didn't want to be talked to if I wanted to go into a certain store or something like that. And I didn't want to be perceived. I just wanted the experience of shopping or whatever I was doing, or just not even really, mostly window shopping. But I didn't want people to be perceiving me, or, when you're a person of color, they come up to you 50 million times to say, oh, can I help you? And it's like, no, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Another person, can I help you? That type situation. So I would practice there. And it is like a muscle where you have to keep doing it, but you can get really good at it. You just, like she said, you do need to be careful that you're not doing that all the time. Because I also, at that time, wanted to meet people that I could be myself around. that could be, I live in this new place and it would be really nice to have a witch, I wanted people. I didn't want, around me. And if you're cloaked all the time, you have a shield, you could naturally just run into these people, but you won't because you're all cloaked up. Anyway, so I think that was actually really, I like that one. And then she has a recipe for black salt, money sigil spell, a walnut prosperity spell. So tools: a small piece of paper, a pen, natural thread or twine, a shovel, and the ingredient is one whole walnut. Now, this is something you could do now because walnuts are going to be available right now. It is so interesting. Growing up as a kid, my mom, it wasn't just my mom. Like, if we went over, I'm a kid, so like whoever the grown person was in their house, like it was just normal for people to have like a bowl on the table and a nutcracker with walnuts. Like, that was just a thing. Um, I don't know if that's still a thing or if people are still doing stuff like that. I don't. Like, it's old school for seven, like growing up, not, no, well, that wasn't the 70s, that was more like the early 80s. That was a thing. People would have stuff like that just out. I don't know. I kind of miss the vibes of hosting of like the late 70s and the 80s, like how people used to do things, they got the record player going. Um, it was just a different vibe, the entertaining, especially, I don't know about anybody else. I grew up, I was around black people. I'm black. My mom went around other black people. That's who we were around. So, but back in the day, at least in the north, now this could be regional, I don't know. In the northeast, like, people would come up, you wore something nice. It wasn't formal, but people would pecans in our family. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, like at Christmas time, yeah. So it wasn't chestnuts, like the song "Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire." We ain't have no open fire. Most of us didn't live in places like that, but we would go if you went to somebody's house and they doing a little holiday get together, some walnuts out, the music playing, records being placed. My job is to make sure to keep the records going, not a DJ, like it's in somebody's house, so it's like that. And people got food out, is drink. People bought stuff, they was dressed a certain way. People playing cards, conversations. Is even though it's the winter time because it's hot. I don't know, maybe because grew up in public housing, so it's hot. So you in public housing you can't control your own heat. So anyway, the door, people go out because you ain't smoking in the house. So people smoke. They smoke a little cigarette, a little something else. So they in and out. Like, I grew up around that, and it's so funny because these people I'm describing, these adults, they were in their 20s. They were in their 20s. And now, when I'm on social media and I see somebody like 28, like, wait, I'm the adult now? I'm like, girl, they was y'all talking about, oh, the ones in the 30s now. And it was like, oh, the holidays. We're supposed to be hosting now. We're supposed to be the one pulling out the grill at 4th of July. And, that would be millennials. And I'm not coming from millennials. But I guess they don't want to grow up. Why is my doorbell going off? I'll be right back. It never fails. Amazon never rings this bell. I have had several, but between me and my daughter, will have packages come in, right? Let it be me on live. Let it be me. And then they ring the doorbell. Anyway, moving on. I just feel like there was a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up with this. These were not old people. These people were in their 20s, maybe early 30s, and they throw on hosting events at their house. They got a spread out. They got music. Like I said, they got entertainment. They would dance in the living room. Um, And I know people do that now, but but what I'm seeing, even just not even just being online, just like looking around me, a lot of people are not doing that. It's like they're still waiting, I guess, for my generation to do that. The problem with my generation is, and I'm Gen X, we don't really want to be bothered like that. A lot of us don't want to be bothered. It's not that we don't. Listen, I love the idea of hosting, but I don't want that many people in my house. Also, everything's more expensive now. So it was a different time back then. You could have a little spread, something like that. It's a honey. That's a whole different lifestyle. Hosting events in your home. It really is. But moving on, a walnut prosperity spell. You can do that. Ocean wishing spell. Now I have some sand, and this is black folks don't have community anymore. Sadly, that's basically what it really is. There's that. I always say now when people say the black community, I'm like, what do you, who, where, what do you mean? Back then, so we're talking late 70s, early 80s, most of us still lived in around each other. Now, and I'm one of those people, I don't live in a community where I see mostly black people. Most of us, we spread out. We peppering the country, the world really, but we're peppering around. We're not, some of us are still in those areas with the exception of certain cities. I know there's Atlanta. That's a different situation because you're going to have different economics, and they're, black here, they got a little bit more money. The blacks here, maybe not so much money. So that's a little different environment. But I still believe Atlanta is kind of like the black mecca. I don't want to live there again. I've moved to that area twice. I've had the experience. I'm good, especially how it is now. You couldn't pay me to live there. The traffic alone, like there's no, I don't want that. But yeah, we did have community. It's a little different now. And listen. I had a taste of this when I lived in Florida, and but there we were the only black people. So these were um, non-black people, but we did have, like, I was building a community. That's where I discovered, okay, so I can get this. It just won't be anything like it used to be when I was younger. And I created that community for my kids where we have, and we're but we didn't do music. That's the difference. And it's so funny because I literally, right before coming on live, I was talking to my sister, and she was talking about, she's doing like a holiday party with her friends and all the kids, and it's mostly black, but there's like, yeah, it's, well, one person, well, she's half black and half white, so yeah, anyway. But when that person, I remember she was saying she had an event, so she had more of a diverse group of people for a event she had at her house, and she said they didn't have on music, and she was like, well, she grew up in the same house as me, so you got people over. It's weird not having music on. It's so ingrained in us. And then she said, is it just us? I said, no, because I've been around other black people and they also got music on. When people come over, you got music on. It's not just going to be dead quiet. And her friend, a couple of her white girlfriends, because she suggested it because she was sick of it being so quiet, it was uncomfortable. So she was like, you got a Bluetooth speaker? Let me go ahead and put this playlist on. And then the white women were making requests because they wanted to hear music too. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. And I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't know. I'm not around a group of young black people very often. Like in their 30s. What y'all do? Do y'all get together? Do y'all play card games? Do y'all have music? Have your kids play and put food on? Do everybody bring a dish? Is that a thing? Probably not. I don't know. I haven't heard it being a thing. But there's a self-love bowl. I'm thinking I'm probably going to want to do this. Listen to this. So you need a large bowl, incense. The ingredients are basil, cinnamon, thyme, rose quartz crystal, moonstone crystal, any items you associate with self-love. This is more than doable. And here's the incantation. Self-love I sow, may you grow. Let the energies flow in, reminding me of how precious and worthy I am, so mote it be. Oh, I like this. Young ones still play music and stuff. Good. I'm glad to know that. Like together in like a little community setting. It's good to know that. There's a glamour box ritual. Listen to this. A small to medium sized box, one handful of pink salt. I could do this. One handful of dried rose petals. I could do that. So you can cast glamour spells to intentionally create an illusion so you appear a certain way to the outside world in order to achieve your desires. This is the perfect little charging box for your daily glamours. This is getting done. This is going to be my craft that I'm going to present to my coven. Now add the salt to the box and then place the rose petals on top. Say the words. May all that be placed inside this box be enchanted to bring out my inner beauty whenever I wear them. Add any jewelry, add any makeup to this box that you wish to charge up for your glamour, such as a necklace to appear attractive for a special date. Best time, Wednesday on a full moon. Ooh, this is a good book. I'm liking everything. Like I I'm so what I plan on doing, because these are not my books. So I can't do any like in-book annotations or anything like that. So my goal is to add these to my grimoires, like any spells, any words I see. I have my printer is like a copier, so I'll copy stuff and put it in there as well. This is perfect. I'm loving what she's so far so good. Like I like a spell book that has ingredients I can possibly access. Like, you like that glamour box? Yeah, right? Like I like that a lot. Um let's see what else she got here. What else she got? Calling a new friend crystal grid. Friends bracelet knot spell. That's cute. Of remembering your dream spell. So listen to this. You need a mortar and pestle, airtight container. Ingredients are basil, a sprinkle of dried sage, rosemary, comfrey, I got that. Patchouli oil, I'm pretty sure. Water, a little 1 teaspoon of honey, lighter or matches. This is not crazy. These you can get this stuff. You can substitute some of this stuff too, but anyway. So start by cleansing your ingredients, rubbing your hands together until warm, then holding them over the ingredients and saying, wait, I do that. May these ingredients be cleansed and blessed. With the mortar and pestle, grind together the dry ingredients. Okay. Once the herbs are fine and well combined, add the patchouli oil and mix again. Repeat with the water and lastly the honey. Using your fingers, form a pyramid shape or cone. You let dry for 1 to 2 days, store in an airtight container. Half an hour before going to sleep, sit by your altar, light one of your incense cones. Oh, this is good. Say this incantation 3 times. Memories of dreams past, present, and future come to me easily, so mote it be. Perform this spell frequently throughout your week for the best results. I like this. I'm liking this book. It's some good stuff in here. Oh, I'll be adding these in for sure. So she has some different mental clarity, first harvest bread baking ritual, summer solstice flower crown ritual, autumn equinox, healing pumpkin soap, all hallows eve silent supper ritual. Incense cones, yeah, this is good. Winter solstice blessed Yule log ritual. So you need a wooden log, 3 or 4 tea light candles, winter decor, pine cones, moss, dried fruit, and so on, and a hot glue gun. Okay. And there's other stuff, and then we're gonna work. Look at the illustrations. This is work and ambition spells. I love the dragon here. Sun water rituals, a success powder, manifestation bath ritual, ringing in customers doorbell spell. Oh, I love this. Career success shower pouch, enchanted shoes sigil. This is very creative. A 13-day candle spell. A resume sigil. Look at that. A resume sigil. Oh, I like this. So tools, an eraser or an editing program on your computer or phone. Okay. Fast employment charm bag. A charming talisman spell. This is really thorough. This is really thorough. And then there's a section on writing your own spells. Hmm. Spell work essentials. I'm going to look at this a little bit more closer. Spell type, disposing of spells. Ooh, first of all, good on her for talking about the disposing of spells. Do you know that's the number one question? You know how people, if you Instagram and TikTok for sure, so it's like a quick video and you see someone, they're just, doing, dressing the candle, burning the herbs, and that's all you see to some music, and that's it. And like they'll have a headline, oh, to call in a lover or to banish something or something like that. The number one question I see in the comments are, so what do I do with all this afterwards? People don't know. Anyway, she has a spell template in the book. So this basically says your intention, tools and ingredients, timing, location. And then there's a section on correspondences. I like this book. This is a great job. Crystals, elements, cardinal directions, herbs and plants. I'm digging this book. Like, this is actually really a nice book of spells. I love perusing spell books for hidden gems. Right. This is actually pretty good. Now, this just came out not too long ago. This is not like an old book. This is recent. And I really, I like the simplicity of the spells. She did say they were simple spells and rituals. Hex removing bath. Like, this is on point. I'm going to go crazy taking some of these spells and making some of them my own. So this is the final book. Y'all, this is such a fun book. I'm going to tell you, first of all, so far, 10 out of 10, all the books I'm telling you to get. I haven't read the fiction one yet, but we'll get back to that. The Witch's Cookbook. This is a newer book that just came out. Enchanting recipes inspired by Hocus Pocus, Bewitched, Harry Potter, Charmed, Wicked, Sabrina, and more. Let me tell you first of all, the artwork. The artwork. I love it. This is, I have to go find this book and buy it. I gotta go buy it because I want it real bad. The recipes are giving, but I'm gonna tell you the Witch's Primer. So this is, first of all, it's in these, it's not easy on the eyes, but I'm gonna tell you the movies that this is taking from, or in a series, the movies or TV shows that are witch inspired. Listen, A Discovery of Witches, All Souls trilogy. To know me is to know how much I love that book series. I read all the books once, and then I listened to them again on audiobook for a different experience because you could hear it in the English accent. I don't know, something about that got me. In the French accents. If you really love a book series or you really love a book and you're like, oh, I could read it again, but I kind of don't want to read it again, listen to the audiobook. You still get to relive it. It's a different medium, so it feels different, but you get the love of the story all over again. That's the answer to that. So these are the movies or TV shows the recipes are based on. A Discovery of Witches, Bewitched, Brave, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Charmed, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Circe, Enchanted, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Harry Potter, Hocus Pocus, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, Outlander, Practical Magic, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Spirited Away, Tangled, I love that movie, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Little Mermaid, the originals. When I saw because you know it's going to be good if it's the originals, The Vampire Diaries, The Witches, Throne of Glass, WandaVision, which was my jam. I love that series. Wicked, Winter Night trilogy. So they start off with Breakfast, Bewitching Breakfast, and Beginnings. I'm a little bit from WandaVision. Breakfast dinner for the hearts. And then there's a little story of where it comes from. So listen, this is the food. This is it. I love the art. I love this book. When the hearts arrive for dinner, the unexpected guests catch Wanda off guard as she is planning on a romantic dinner for her and Vision. With the help of their friendly neighbor Agnes, Wanda attempts to prepare the perfect dinner, but all efforts are thwarted by the pressures of cooking and entertaining their guests. Instead, Wanda magically whips up this breakfast with a bottle of wine for what is a strange but lovely evening. This is the kind of stuff I'm into. I like, if you're gonna, you know how if you go online and you look for a recipe and they give you some crazy backstory, like 5 pages worth of backstory, and you just want the recipe, it's just a small little paragraph, but I like this. Um, I'm gonna find y'all in a snack. It was one from The Little Mermaid. Poor unfortunate souls. Look at this. This looks so good. So, um, I'll be. Oh, this is octopus. This look good. Oh, I'm gonna need that. Um, from Outlander, Colin Skink, my dear. Look at this. I'm trying to get to the Vampire Diaries or one of the other ones. Oh man, Charmed. Oh, Charmed. Look at this one. This is Piper's penne with pork giblet sauce. So during Piper's audition for the chef position at Quake, and I faintly remember this. Listen, Chef Moore storms in declaring her time is up, reluctant to listen to Piper when she tells him the port has not been added to the sauce yet. Chef Moore continues to lift the bite of pasta to his mouth when Piper panics and freezes him, adding a drop of port to his bite. Piper unfreezes him and the chef declares the dish a sensation. Come on. This made me want to make it more. Stuff like this intrigues me. It's, okay. And then Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Hilda's almond cookies. First of all, Hilda was always cooking something, so this actually makes sense. They could probably do a cookbook just from, supposedly what Hilda cooked in the kitchen. So Shirley Jackson enjoys Hilda's almond cookies as she attempts to hear the sisters apart in order to bring down Zelda. I remember this. As she ascends the ranks in the Church of Night, the plan seems to go accordingly until the hidden cyanide in the cookies and the bitter taste of a failed scheme reveal themselves. Shirley realizes in her last moments never to come between the bond of two sisters. Yes. This is the foolishness that I look forward to in a cookbook. Okay, here we go, the originals, because the original's going to be New Orleans. Look at this. This is jambalaya. Because why wouldn't it be? Why would it not be? I'm trying to hurry up and find one from the Vampire Diaries, Tangled. Because there was one in here I thought was in. I like the little stories. Oh, that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, look. Double Meat Palace Medley Burger. This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, welcome to the Double Meat family. We highly encourage you to try the Double Meat Medley and experience the magic that is when the cow and chicken come together to create this unique burger. Sandwiched between two buns, the Double Meat Palace Medley Burger features a not-so-classic beef patty with a thick slice of processed chicken. Plot twist, the beef patty doesn't actually contain any beef. I gotta look at that a little closer. Those ingredients a little bit more and see what it's doing. But anyway, this is a very fun book for recipes, to kind of approach. I'm looking for some fun things, so this is perfect. I'm trying to get to, and they have drinks. Let me find, why can't I find Vampire Diaries? Of course, it was in my face yesterday when I was looking at it. Well, here's Practical Magic, Midnight Margaritas. Check it out. So there's the recipe for that. But this is something, I have to go buy this book because I want it. I want to keep it. I don't want to give it back. So I have to buy it for sure. This is also a fun way for me to not feel like I've wasted my money. Because if I review something, imagine if I don't like it. I bought this book, like I'm stuck with it. Eventually, when this channel reaches a certain amount, like when I feel like I'm comfortable, I'll do giveaways. I'll give away the books. Yeah, so I can't find it fast enough. I'm probably skipping right by with the Vampire Diaries because there was something in here I wanted to talk about, but for the life of me, I found it. I skipped it. Right, come on, come back. Here it is. A Mushroom Olive Omelet by Valerie. Look at that. So, let me tell you the backstory on this. In the world of the Vampire Diaries, and I remember this, the Gemini Coven has long considered heretics an abomination, banishing the witch-vampire hybrids to a prison world in 1903. Finally released from their prison in present day, the heretics are under the short leash of Lillian Salvatore. Why do I remember this episode exactly? Unwilling to live under such strict rules, Oscar hides from the rest of the heretics, only to be killed by Valerie to thwart his plans. The next morning, Valerie cooks up a mushroom omelet for Oscar, knowing he will never return, and this is the recipe for it. This is everything. For some, like, I would want to watch that episode while I'm eating this, but yeah, this is this is the book, y'all. Conjure up enchanting recipes worthy of legendary witches. So gather round your cauldron and summon your culinary senses. I love this book. Um, yeah, so who's the author? Deanna Huey. Deanna Huey. So this is newer. It's not old, so you shouldn't have too much trouble finding it. So just to recap, The Witch's Cookbook, Ella Harrison's The Book of Spells, which I'm digging. Contemporary Witch. I have seen this book on Amazon. The pettiest episodes. I know. That's why I was like, oh shoot, y'all like go. You're like, nah, we want the one where she knew the man, she killed the man, and she made him breakfast. And here's the omelet she made. This, I think, is my only issue in this, it's the small print. I'm struggling. But, I might have to actually invest in readers and just, be a real grown up. But Contemporary Witch, I think this is a good book to add to your library. I'm going to get more into this, but from what I saw, I'm liking it. I just like the way the book looks too, but I'm very curious. And then I will be back with a full review of This Spells Disasters. This is my first queer, witchy romantic book that I'll be reading. So I'm really looking, well, fully, because there was a book that I reviewed where the character had been in a situation where the last person she had dated was a woman, but the love interest, it was a guy. So, but this is my first, I guess, fully queer. So there's no, oh, she used to date. No, she is currently falling for a woman. So these are the books I like. I think I did good. Now there are some other books that library has, and they're like brand spanking new stuff that came out, and they were gone. So I'll have to put in, it's a library, you got to do the whole thing. So I'm sure somebody pissed about the books I got. They probably wanted these. These were like right there, like I said, on the shelves when you first walk in. It's like all the new stuff. So I will I'll probably do another one. So my goal now is to obviously just simply read this book, but with the other ones, now I this is good because I like paper crafts. So I'll create like spreads, pages in my grimoires for the different stuff that I find. And this is going to be fun. This is actually really exciting. So I look forward to doing this over the next couple days. I'll probably even just share my video where I do that. This is getting purchased. There's no way. I'm buying this book. This has to happen. I am definitely buying this book because I'm making some of this stuff. I'm looking forward to adding this because I have been on today is December 22nd. I made a deal with myself for a host of reasons. One, I'm trying to spend less for the month of December for myself from a financial point of view of, it's the holidays, a lot more spending is happening. Also, I can't there's certain things that are not going to be in my power when it comes to world events. But what I can control is where I spend my money. I can control that. And that's actually that's a lot of control. It's a lot of power. If I choose not to spend my money in certain places, and specifically at this time of year, if I'm choosing not to participate in the spending habits that occur in December for the holidays, if I'm taking a step back from that, you know what? That's me wielding my power. And money is currency. We assign power to money. So I am literally keeping my power close to me. I don't want to support a lot of these corporations that have far-reaching abilities in politics and world events. And they will boldly show that. I mean, but here's the thing: we, the consumer, we have power as well, and we can show because they have this far-reaching, in their lobbying, in our politics and our governments. Guess what? We're showing not just the corporations, but we're showing the government as well. We do have power. We choose not to spend. So guess what? Look at Starbucks. Starbucks is fighting for their lives right now because in the world of corporate entities, it is no such thing as breaking even. It's no such thing as taking in any losses are bad. Any losses. Their goal is to always outperform, excuse me, every quarter. Their goal is never to just break even or remain the same. They're always greed is good mentality. It's always supposed to be more every time. So an impact is being made. Other corporations, I know they're feeling it too. Actually, retail is feeling it because they tried to come out with some statistics about Black Friday, and because people are more informed now, they looked at what these charts or what they were talking about, and they saw that it was specifically skewed to the media or via the media to make it look like, oh, people are spending, so the rest of us will get on board. Let me tell you how desperate Starbucks is. Starbucks, Kim Kardashian posted to Instagram her walking, and she has on like, I don't know, she has on like a crop top. Her hair's pulled back in that classic boring ass pull back hairdo where they slick it back that people have been doing for years. Anyway, she's got that, and she's coming out of Starbucks, and it's like clearly displayed. We know Kim Kardashian. None of these people do anything for free. She doesn't just happen to have Kardashian, and because I don't follow this woman very much, many people were saying, well, she says she don't even like coffee. Now, of course, she could have got something different, but the point is, she's got this cup that looks like a coffee cup, suspiciously like a coffee cup, as opposed to, let's say, like a cold drink or something like that. Anyway, and she's just walking, and it's the way she's walking, holding it. Let me hold my drink up. It's like she's walking like this, so you can clearly see it. Starbucks paid this woman to do this. Now, it is bizarre to me, but that lets me know for some people, all money is good. It don't matter the money, all money is good. She's Armenian. And I'm thinking about the ties, but I'm mind my business. That's not my business. It's not my business. But my point is of bringing this up is that these companies are getting desperate. I am starting to see ads where I never saw ads for certain companies because they want you to spend your money there. They're feeling it. They are definitely feeling that a lot of us have made a decision to just totally back away. Not to mention, even if your issue isn't about what's happening, elsewhere, the union, some of these companies' ideas about unions and how they try to stop it, and they say you can't, form a union if you just have issues with their pay. Waffle House is coming under fire right now. So I'm talking activism right now, by the way. If you have an issue with how these, like, as a waitress, I used to waitress years ago. When you're a waitress, they don't actually pay you, or it's like, what did I used to get paid? $2.50 an hour. So if my shift was about 5 hours, I got $2.50 per hour, and I was supposed to get by on tips. Okay, that was then. We live in a time right now where most people are feeling the pinch. The prices have gone up, the portion sizes are going down. So maybe I could have been, even me, when I go out to eat, because I used to waitress, I want to be generous. But now, since that bill is so much higher, what I would have normally provided to the wait staff, I might be closer to that 15, 18, where before I used to always do at minimum 20% tip across the board. Well, life is different now. Things are a little different now. The bill's coming in a lot higher, so that changes the dynamics. We're not even going to get into the concept of like delivery and DoorDash, because DoorDash is putting all these extra fees in, and then you're still trying to be generous to the driver, but what was a $10 meal is $25. And all this person is getting is maybe a couple dollars off of that. Like, so Waffle House, I've seen their Waffle House is coming under fire because there's a woman who she's took to, or at least I'm seeing it on social media, where she was saying in the last year she has gotten 5 paychecks because essentially they're not paying her. She has to rely on tips. But again, because of where we are now, economically speaking, people are not tip you and everything that went up. Even if she's getting the same in tips, everything went up. She's asking to be paid from the company. In other countries, if you're a waitress or a waiter, do you realize that you actually are paid a wage so that you could take care of yourself and your family? Um, so yeah, uh, magic currency currency has magic because we assign it. And those of us who are attuned to those energies around money and things like that, you can use your power as a practitioner. You can actually add more to it, but simply by not giving these people money. There is one big company that I haven't figured out how to avoid yet. They are so interested. There's two, Walmart and Amazon. I can just tell you what they are. I haven't quite figured it out yet because it's very difficult to not shop at Walmart or Amazon in this day and age. It's really hard, especially if you put out social media content. It's difficult to not be in these to give them your money. So I don't really have an answer for that yet. Because they got practices that I don't agree with as well. But for, like I said, where I can exude my power is by just holding my currency. You won't get mine. And so far, if we do this collectively, we can make change because I think changes are coming. And the more this continues, the longer this goes on, these companies are going to listen. You're going to see, because they already work, they have their hand in our government. You're going to start to see some change. One more thing before I go, student loans. So, as you know, our country is crazy about education, how much it costs, and they won't forgive these student loans, even though it has been predatory because you're talking about people who are just trying to make a better way and they're trying to advance in their education so that they could live a certain way. So, we have people who have done that. They have incredibly high debt. I'm one of those people, by the way, student loan debt, and yet the jobs are not paying enough to even take care of survive, essentially barely surviving. Most of us are probably working more than one job. You're doing something else, something on the side. So the last thing you could do is pay hundreds of dollars a month toward student loans. So I think it was last month, right? November was supposed to be the month. Everybody was supposed to make their first loan payment after all the extensions and stuff like that. 9 million people did not make the first payment. I am also one of those people. I did not make the payment. I filed the necessary paperwork to delay it because I'm just not in a position. I'm not going to tell y'all. If I told you how much these people wanted from me, it's over $1,000 for a monthly payment. So moving on. Who? You're not asking me this. So I did necessary paperwork because you have to be careful. But 9 million people was like, they don't, it's not even about not wanting to. You don't have the money to pay it, right? A lot of people just don't have it. So they didn't. And now, because of that, in response to that, guess what they're extending? The deadline before, we had, okay, well, we're going to push it back to this. 9 million people spoke up. If we work collectively and we wield our power, we can start to make change. I know we've all heard this, but like you're seeing evidence of it. It really can work. And it starts with you. I made the decision to cook at home. That's where I was going with this. I made the decision to cook at home for the entire month of December. I would not eat out. Okay? So I didn't, and I have not. And it's December 22nd. I still haven't. I've cooked all my meals at home. Yes, it was difficult. I have points with certain places where I could get something for free. That's not the point. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to eat out. I refuse to. So it's not even about just spending money, which it is, but as well. But it's also, I could get something for free. Actually, I've had somebody offer, oh, do you want me to pick you? I'm going here. No, I don't want to partake. This is my stance. This is my protest. So yeah. I'm down. Tangent over. So that cookbook is going to be super helpful because um, I realize I enjoy cooking and doing some kitchen witchery and stuff like that. I've been enjoying the process, so it's not like something that's a labor and I hate it. It's kind of a labor of love. So I will end it here. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the 12 days of Yule videos that I'm posting. They're just short, really barely edited videos of me just sharing based on the prompts. Ivy the Occultist started this. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, in the search for YouTube, just type in hashtag 12 days of Yule all together. Look under that hashtag and you will find all different types of pagan witches who are creating content. I have been really having fun because people are finding me and I'm finding other people that have never shown up for me. YouTube has never suggested their channels or their content. So you can, if you're looking like for some new people to follow or stuff like that, check it out. Happy holidays. Enjoy your weekend too. All right, I am done. I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of my day. We are still in Yule, winter solstice. Enjoy.